To those who have been watching this channel long enough, you'll see one single pattern. I prefer to buy, own, wear an NADG format G-Shock more than a full digital format G-Shock. I still have them, like brand new ones or vintage one, I still got them, but I prefer to wear an NADG version more. However, never had I thought that one day an NADG format G-Shock would get this amount of popularity and recognition to a point that it overshadow and full digital G-Shock. Can I even say that? Thanks to buyee Japan for sponsoring this video and making this purchase possible. All the details about them will be available down in the description box. And I'll have 3 things to talk about. 3 strange things about the watch. Not necessarily to be good or bad depending on how you view these 3 points, but something that I found to be a bit odd. First, size and dimension. Believe it or not, this is the smallest casioak right now. It is even smaller than the resin version GM-S2100 model. So if you aren't sure about the size yet, this is it, guys. It is even smaller looking than the DW5600 series G-Shock watch. So if you like small size G-Shock, you should consider getting one of these. Not necessarily need to be this color, but just this model. Now, don't be fooled with the numbers, with the size. This is a G-Shock and not a baby G, meaning it has 20 bar water resistant, and that makes this watch tough. Even though it is small, it is still just as tough, unlike, you know, typical baby G, which only have 10 bar water resistant, thanks to the metal bezel, I guess, and that thick back casing, in this case rose gold color. It does remind me of the vintage G2500 somehow. Regardless, notice that it is not black. That's because it is not made out of carbon. And that is the first strange point about the watch. I guess same applies to the GM-2100 model as well. I'm pretty sure the costs are pretty much the same, right? I don't know why Casio didn't use carbon instead. Regardless, that's the strange point about the watch. Let's carry on to the next one. Back to the front. The bezel design, it is in rose gold, matching with these buckle over here with Casio Thailand sign underneath it. Just curvy buckle, not squarish, not rugged. Just like the GM-2100, the metal bezel on this model also feature a circular finishing at the top of it with G-Shock and protection lettering. No mode select forward reverse indicator at all, just 2 lettering. And it came in rose gold matching with this buckle at the end of it. I do wish it came with metal band keeper. That would make the watch looks a lot nicer, but resin band keeper works just fine. Circular finish at the front, gloss finishing at the top side. The side of the watch where it guards the button have a hairline finishing. The rose gold does match with the rose gold buttons and rose gold side screws to lock the bezel as well, including the casing, as you guys already seen. And that brings us to the next strange point about the watch, and that is about the screws. You guys knows me, right? I disassemble a lot of G-Shock, even baby G throughout the years, and normally I would just use this tool. This is 1.5mm head screwdriver, and apparently I cannot use this tool to open up this screw. Not necessarily need to be a bad or good point, but to me it is bad because I have to buy a different tool to make the assembly video, which I'm gonna make later in the future. Like I already said, I prefer to buy the all black version, but this is the one available so far, meaning I'm gonna change the bezel to black, change everything that I can to black color instead. So stay tuned for the disassembly video, which I'm gonna make soon. Now let's carry on to the next strange point about the watch, and that is on the face design. First and foremost, it is just like the GM-2100. If you like that watch, you gotta like this one as well, because it is even smaller in size, meaning Casio need to add much more efforts to make it possible, to make all the finishing possible in here. Notice that everything here is in rose gold. In this case, positive display for that digital portion also in rose gold as well. Even though everything is in same color, you could somewhat differentiate between all of the section of the watch, and that thanks to the incredible detail finishing. First thing you'll see is the hands, rose gold hands with a luminescent sticker at the center of it, so you could see the hands in the dark. It does have LED backlighting for the analog and the digital portions, so that helps as well to see at night, but it didn't have any auto light function built in, which is odd. For 2021 model they should have added that function, right? But apparently they didn't, so that's that. And then if you look even closer to the center of the watch face, you'll see this side here, this 10-minute marker section of the watch. You have a circle finishing of its own, making the watch looks very good. I guess that's the character of this model specifically, and that's the reason why I bought this watch in the first place instead of getting the GM-2100, because I'm curious what is this all about. But apparently this is just for aesthetics. It serves no function at all, though it does makes the watch looks great in a way, right? So that's pretty much it over here, and that is strange in my opinion. Why not use this section to add something, at least make the hand for, you know, 10-minute timer or something like that? But yeah, this serves no function at all, just there for looks. Now moving even closer to the face, you can see a circular finish around the indices area, the center part of the watch where all the letterings are at. It have same color but different finishing, everything there, and it gives the sense of depth in the watch. It makes the watch looks beautiful. Either rose gold, green or black, all of them looks incredibly good on wrist or just as it is. So if you're on the fence that you should be getting this or this, I would highly recommend you to consider a casioak instead. It is metal, meaning you don't have to find a third-party bezel, which typically costs $100. It's just as tough as a G-Shock. It is small size and it is popular, meaning later in the future, if you don't like the watch, if you want to sell it up, it's gonna be a lot easier to get rid of it, unlike when you own a basics model like this guy. It is 2 times as expensive, but totally worth the investment in my opinion. So shout out to Buyee Japan again for sponsoring this video. If you're planning on getting one, I highly recommend you guys to use Buyee Japan for that. Go to the link down in the description box, sign up, create an account, and start shopping for yours and have it sent straight from Japan. See you guys in my next video on the modding one. If you have any idea on what should I be doing or modify with this watch, just let me know. I'll try them out. See you guys then.